Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the College of Pharmacy presentation. See, a couple people are connecting to audio. We have a couple more people trickling in. We're so glad everyone is here. We'll get started in just a minute once I've seen everyone is connected to audio. I see a few more people waiting. Appreciate your patience. All right, well, hopefully y'all appreciated some of the old school music we have here for y'all. My name is Patrick Olson. I am the recruitment and admissions coordinator for the College of Pharmacy here at UT Austin, and I am joined by one of our current pharmacy students, Javier. I am lucky that he is joining us because he can talk all about his experience not only as an undergrad at UT, but he will also be able to talk to us about his experience as a pharmacy student. I myself did not attend the College of Pharmacy at UT. I am not a pharmacist. I am I've been working in higher education for almost 10 years, and I did get my master's at UT, so I am a Longhorn as well. But I'm going to let Javier quickly introduce himself. I promise you'll hear from him throughout this presentation. And then there's a lot of people on here, so I'm not going to ask for everyone to introduce themselves via video or audio, but I'm going to ask everyone to introduce themselves in the chat box. So if you could, I'm going to ask the prospective students to share your preferred name. I know some of you might be on your parents' accounts or siblings' accounts, or the name just doesn't match. So your preferred name, where you are in the Zoom universe, and why did you choose to come to this presentation? Again, name, where you are in the Zoom universe, and why you chose to come to this presentation. You could put that in, and I'll remind everyone in the chat those 3 items, and then we'll hand it over to Javier to quickly introduce himself.
Oh, thank you, Patrick. Hello, everyone. My name is Javier, and I am now a second-year pharmacy student here at UT's College of Pharmacy. But as Patrick mentioned, I did come to UT Austin for undergrad. I got a degree in biology with a certificate in ethics and leadership in healthcare. So looking forward to being a double Longhorn when it's all said and done. And I am checking in from my hometown, Corpus Christi, Texas. So great to meet y'all, virtually that is, and I'm happy to answer any questions y'all may have.
Thank you, Javier. And like I mentioned, he will be with us throughout the presentation. So he will be able to answer any questions as we go along and really be able to talk about his experience as an undergrad student and as a current pharmacy student. And as a reminder, please just put your information in the chat. And Javier, if you could do the same, so that way if someone missed it or their audio wasn't connected, because I see one person whose audio is not connecting, that way they can scroll up and hear and remember more about you. But I am in the meantime going to go ahead and pull up a PowerPoint. I'll be honest, it's my least favorite thing about Zoom is once I put my PowerPoint up, I can see y'all significantly less. And so we will go through the PowerPoint as quickly as we can, and then really just stop sharing screens and do a Q&A. So I will give a quick introduction to the College of Pharmacy, as well as the field and the profession of pharmacy. We will then hand it over to Javier to talk more about his experience as a pharmacy student, and then we will end with a big Q&A. Because the Q&A is at the end, it doesn't mean you have to wait until the end to ask your questions. Please, at any moment, ask questions through the chat. It's a great way to ask in the moment without feeling rude and interrupted. So it's a great feature. We're glad you can use it here and be able to get all the answers to all your questions. But we will go ahead and jump right in. And let's talk about why pharmacy. And as those responses are coming in through the chat and y'all are introducing yourselves in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and assume that a lot of you are here today because you like math and science. Those are your favorite classes in high school. You're pursuing math and science majors when you go to college, and you think, well, pharmacy might be a good way to combine my math and science interest. And it absolutely is. And as high school students, I'm thrilled you're learning more about pharmacy today. In my experience working in admissions and working with high school students, so many students think the only way to apply a math and science education is by being an engineer. And that's certainly a great way to do it, but it's not the only way to apply a math and a science education. So we're thrilled you're here, and pharmacy is one great way of many to take that passion, that knowledge for math and science and make it applicable. A lot of you are probably here today because you want to work in healthcare. You're thinking, I want to work with medicine. I want to help people. Either healthcare was an important part of my life, or was an important part of a family member's life or a loved one's life. I want to work in healthcare, but I'm not, again, sure where. And again, it's great that you're here doing your research and learning about the different ways to work in healthcare. Because a lot of high school students, they think pre-med, that's the way to work in healthcare. Got to go be a doctor. But there's so many different ways. So I encourage you to do research into pharmacy, do research into nursing, do research into healthcare administration, do research into research. What does that mean? And so there are so many ways to work in healthcare, and explore the pros and the cons of each of them. One of the greatest things about pharmacy and the healthcare aspect is that it's a very relationship-driven profession. So not all people who work in healthcare are going to have the same engagement with patients as pharmacists will. Pharmacists are consistently named the most accessible healthcare providers out there. No matter where you grew up, big town, small city, big city, small town, I'm willing to bet that you might not know where your doctor's office is, where your hospital is, but all of you can probably point to your pharmacy, your pharmacist. And there's no cost to walk up to your local pharmacist and ask them a question. So that is why building relationships is so important to the profession. Future pharmacists are the most accessible healthcare providers out there. There's a lot of innovation when it comes to the world of pharmacy. What you might traditionally think of as working at a CVS or a Walgreens, that's part of the job. That's part of what some of our students will go on and do, but there's so much more to the pharmacy world. And there's no better example of it being an innovative place than how our pharmacy students and their profession have reacted to this global pandemic. Believe it or not, our students have been on the front line giving out vaccines to tens and thousands of faculty, staff, students, and Austin community members right here on campus. So it is the pharmacy students who are the ones getting shots in arms and helping us reduce the rate of infection with COVID. And so I never thought when I started working at the College of Pharmacy that our students would be the frontline workers helping end a global pandemic, but it just shows how adaptable the profession is and how influential the pharmacists across the country are. And then finally, there's a lot of variety and flexibility within the pharmacy profession. You'll hear Javier tell his story and his interests, but every student here at the college wants to do something a little bit different with their pharmacy degree. And there's so many ways you can customize your education to best fit you. And that's what's great about UT, is you can really customize your education at a large school like ours. So our program is a 4-year program. And I want to emphasize that you cannot apply to the College of Pharmacy as a high school student. Our program is a program you apply to after you meet our prerequisite requirements. And so some students will go ahead and go through 4 years of undergrad. They'll earn a bachelor's degree and then apply to the College of Pharmacy. Other students want to get to the College of Pharmacy as quickly as possible and then take their prerequisites as fast as they can. They might go to a local community college or take classes over the summer. They might apply to pharmacy school 1 to 2 years into being an undergrad. Doesn't matter, whatever works for you, whatever your timeline is, that's fine. But all of our students, no matter when they come in as a P1 student, that is a first-year student, and they spend 4 years here at our college. That first year, our students are building a foundation because our students are coming from UT Austin. They were undergrads here, and they stayed here like Javier. We will have students that come from other schools In Texas, we will have students who come from other schools outside of Texas, and we'll have international students in our program as well. So it's important that we take all those students who all learned just a little bit differently at their respective institutions, and we build a strong foundation for them to learn. That second year, our students are getting a better understanding of clinical knowledge. Their third year, our students are getting ready for the real world, because their fourth year, our students are spread out across the state of Texas, and they do 6-week rotations in their respective areas. So our students will be placed in one of 4 locations. They'll either stay in Austin, they will go to Dallas, San Antonio, or Houston. You'll be placed in one of those areas. Let's say you go to Dallas, and then you'll do 6-week rotations across the city in the region of Dallas. And so it's a great way for our students to really try different areas of pharmacy, see what they like, see what they don't like, get hands-on experience, and be able to network as well. And for our Texas residents, some of our students, it's a good opportunity for them to live at home, see family, be closer to family, or other students just might want to experience a different part of the state. And so it's a great opportunity to travel as well. So you might be asking yourself, well, where do graduates of your program work? Do all of them go work at the CVS and the Walgreens down the street? And when we talk about CVS and Walgreens or HEBs or your local grocery, we put those into a category of community chain. And you'll see here that about 1/3 of our students will go work in community chain when they graduate. So that's a good chunk, but that's only 1/3, which means majority of our students are doing something else. And most of our students are trending towards clinical residencies. What a residency is it's 1 to 2 more years of schooling in a specific area of pharmacy. We are noticing more and more students are heading in that direction of exploring residencies and pursuing residencies. So it's important to make sure our students are prepared for residencies and are getting the residencies they want, because it's another moment in your life where students have to apply for a program and be admitted into it. So they apply for residencies and they get matched with a residency. We have an extremely high match rate. We have the 3rd highest match rate for pharmacy schools in the country. We are well above the national average, which simply means we do a pretty good job at getting students where they want to be after they graduate our program. Now, like I mentioned, you cannot apply to the College of Pharmacy as a high school student. You will have to attend UT first, attend another 4-year institution first, or attend a community college first. But you have to take some college classes before you can come to our program. So you might be asking yourself, well, before I get there, what should I major in? And so the easiest way to answer it is that it doesn't matter. You can major in whatever you like. And so you might be saying, I like math and science. I'm going to stick with math and science. Those are going to be my majors. I'm going to be biology or chemistry or statistics. It's up to you. Others of you might be thinking, well, I really like the languages, or I really like business, or I like engineering. You can do that too. Your major will not influence your admissions decision into the College of Pharmacy. And believe it or not, your major doesn't even equal the career you're going to have. One of the greatest things about UT is you can take classes across the board and really customize your education and customize your experience. Your major isn't going to define your career. You are going to define your career. And so I encourage you to major in something that excites you. And so if that's the fine arts, if that's business, if that's foreign language, then please do that. Just make sure you take the prerequisites. And that's very easy to do. You can easily be a business major and take the science prerequisites. You can easily be a Spanish major and take the science prerequisites. So pick a major that excites you. A lot of our students, you'll see here, you might be thinking, well, should I get that bachelor's degree? Is it important? It's a personal choice, but when looking at our class, majority of our students are coming in with bachelor's degrees. I'm noticing that that's mostly because students aren't learning about the field of pharmacy until they are currently enrolled in college. And then by that time, they're thinking, I'm this close, I'm already in college, I'm close to finishing my bachelor's degree, I'm just gonna complete it. But as high school students, you might be thinking to yourself, I know I want pharmacy. This is for me, I'm ready. And you guys might be different, and that's fine. So while most of our students do come in with bachelor's degrees, it's definitely not a requirement. Now, for those of you who might be thinking, well, I want both. I definitely know I want to get a bachelor's degree. I want that security. I want to know I have it, but I want a PharmD too. And I want to do it all at UT. A great option for you is our combined 7-year program. where students have the option to enter in UT as a biology major. In their third year, as an undergrad, they would apply to the College of Pharmacy. And if admitted, they would start their fourth year at UT as their first year of pharmacy school. So what traditionally would take 8 years to do a bachelor's degree and a PharmD degree would be consolidated down to 7 years. And that's uniquely specific for students who major in biology. So if that is of interest to you, you don't need to check off any box when you apply. All you need to do is apply as a biology major. And then if admitted, we would help those students who are interested in pursuing this option. We'll talk about some admissions data real quick. Again, you won't be applying for a while, but just wanted you to know, just big picture, how the College of Pharmacy admissions process is extremely different than the undergrad admissions process. Last year, we had about over 500 students apply to the College of Pharmacy. That is very different than the 50,000 plus that apply to UT as undergrads. We get most of our students from Texas, but we do get a strong amount of students from California, Florida, and the Midwest as well. And if we have any out-of-state students on this call, your residency status does not affect your admissions decision for pharmacy school. That's unique for pharmacy school. That's not the same case for undergrad programs. And then I shared this slide just because it's important for students to know that your college grades are just as important as your high school grades. A lot of students think I got to college, I'm set, I just got to pass. If you want to go to pharmacy school, you need good grades. And so the average GPA for a student who came to our program was a 3.5. But again, there was a wide range there between a 2.5 and a 4.0. So 3.5 was the average. It is not the minimum. And then historically, we have required a standardized test called the Pcat. It is optional this year. It was optional last year. I can't predict if it will remain optional, but the average score for the students who took it when it was required was an 82%. So again, it's important to make sure you are prepared and ready to put forth a strong application to our program. So I've done a lot of talking, and now we get to the end of the PowerPoint where I can stop sharing and y'all can see me hopefully a little bit easier. I'll pause for a moment and see if there's any questions I can help answer. And you're welcome to take yourself off mute or turn your camera on or put it in the chat, whatever you are most comfortable. Javier, please let me know if there's questions I need to answer that I missed.
I believe we just had one question asked, but I answered it, and also Ms. Helton answering too. It's about switching majors within a school or college.
Great. Thank you both for handling that. So again, talks about internal transfer between schools. Is there an internal transfer within the same school? And I'll let Jamie answer more about that. But if you're just simply changing, if you're within your school, you're simply changing your major, and that's a process that would be handled with your academic advisor. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the star of the show again and let Javier talk more about his UT experience and share why he chose the pharmacy profession and why I chose UT Pharmacy. So I'll hand it over to you, Javier.
Oh, thank you. Ooh, okay, so we have why pick pharmacy and why pick UT? I could really talk about that for a couple hours, but I'll try to limit as short as possible. Why I picked pharmacy? Well, I was always interested in just, this can sound very nerdish, but I was very interested in trying to find new different drug combinations or just single therapies to help treat diseases more effectively and also minimize symptoms. And so that's why I was mainly interested in pharmacy. And why I chose UT's pharmacy was because, well, it started when I was a freshman here at undergrad, and I went to a meeting for the Longhorn Pre-Pharmacy Association, or LPBA for short. I was nervous, I didn't really know anybody, and I was off to the corner. And one of the student officers came up to me and just had a simple conversation with me, saying, how are you liking UT? What do you want to get out of this org? And I really had that feeling that everything would be okay and I belonged. And that's actually the culture that you have at UT's College of Pharmacy. I know that because a lot of the student officers who were that kind and friendly stayed at UT for the pharmacy school because their values and culture aligned what they wanted. And so it was just a no-brainer why I chose UT's pharmacy school, because not only that UT has so many resources, it's been one of the longest established pharmacy schools in the country. And for me personally, there's also a large research team, both for undergrad and for the pharmacy school, which is another reason why I decided to stay here at UT. But overall, it was the people. I every day when I attend pharmacy school here, I am so glad that I get to, well, this year was virtually meet my classmates, faculty, and staff, and I can't wait to meet with them in person. But everyone's just very friendly, very supportive, and we're just all in this together to one day help improve patients' lives after we graduate. And so going back to another reason why I stayed here was, like I mentioned, the research. Actually, this past summer, I was starting my research rotations for the research honors program. There are plenty of labs to choose from, both for undergrad and the pharmacy school. And hopefully I might do the dual PharmD PhD program. And that's not the only dual program there. There's also a Master's of Public Health. And I'm personally not in that program because I decided not to join and the deadline already passed to enter it. But there are just so many opportunities that you could achieve here at the pharmacy school. And I just can't wait to take full advantage for the next 3 years here.
Thank you, Javier. Appreciate you sharing your story, your UT experience. And I definitely want to be able to talk more about that. But I'd also want to open it up for Q&A. So at this point, please, students, put lots of questions in the chat, or if you would like to take yourself off mute, you're welcome to do that too. While we wait for some questions to come in, Javier, I have a question for you. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you went about approaching your prerequisite courses for pharmacy school? Who helped you through that process?
Well, definitely my academic advisor. And small world, my academic advisor was Patricia Gutierrez, who got transferred to the pharmacy school. So she helped me out every single time that I went for a meeting. I believe in your first semester or your first year, it's required to meet with your advisor, but I met with my advisor every semester during my undergrad. And that was the first question I wanted to knock out was how many more prereqs I have. And before I apply, just want to make sure that I have them all done. That would be a simple transcript transfer to UT and everything's taken care of. So definitely your academic advisor is going to be your best friend to making sure that you have all your classes done and completed before you apply to pharmacy school.
Thanks, Javier. And yeah, so everyone, when they're admitted to UT, they're assigned an academic advisor, and you meet with that person to help guide you through your academic journey. And so that person can help you if you want to change your major, if you want to maybe pursue a minor, add a major, you're thinking about going to law school, medical school, dental school, that person will help you along the way. We also have an office, and Javier, if you could pull up the website and put the link, but for the health professions office. So a lot of you, I'm assuming, are exploring a lot of different health professions. And so we have an office at UT that takes all students who are interested in pre-health professions and guides them through that process. So Javier was a science major, so had a little bit an extra help with having an advisor within the sciences, but you might be a music major that wants to pursue pre-med, or you might be a business major that wants to pursue pharmacy, or you might be a Russian major that wants to go to pre-PA, pre-pharmacist, physician's assistant. So that office helps all of our students, no matter their major, get to the medical program of their choosing. So thank you, Javier. And I do want to give, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing this, but Sudiska a chance to if you feel comfortable taking yourself off mute, I understand you have a lot of questions. I want to make sure you leave here with the answer. So I'm happy if you want to just ask your question. I can maybe we can better understand and answer it right now.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, what I was asking in the chat is because I am fairly certain I want to go into pharmacy school, but however, my major itself I'm kind of unclear on. There are a few options of things I want to go into. I want to go into chemistry or maybe like public health or psychology, lots of different options. And I know that there's the internal transfer process, which is when you go from one school to another, but I don't know what the process is if you're transferring majors within your same school, what that would be like, or if that's even a possibility.
So is your question like if you came in as a biology major and want to switch to a chemistry major, what is that
Yeah.
process like?
Yeah, something like that. As long as it's like within the same college.
So it's unfortunately I can't give an umbrella statement for the whole entire university because some majors and colleges are just different and
Right.
more have different requirements. So again, with switching from biology to chemistry specifically wouldn't be a huge process, or my understanding wouldn't require an application, but something like switching from biology to computer science would require an application, because computer science, while within the College of Natural Sciences, is a very, very competitive and has limited space within the program. Similar with engineering, you can't just switch from electrical engineering to mechanical engineering. There's an application process for that. So it's case by case, and it depends on the college and the major. But one option you might consider as someone who wants to explore a lot of different things is a website called Wayfinder. I just put it in the chat. But Wayfinder is a website that helps you look at all the majors and all the options at UT. And so there might be some majors in there that you didn't know existed. And then another program for you, if you are about to submit your application, you're thinking, I really don't know what to do. I have no idea where to start. I can't find my college. The School of Undergraduate Studies is a great place to start. And so it's essentially a place for students who aren't quite sure yet, but they know they want to come to UT. They know they want a UT education, and they're interested in a lot of different things. It's kind of like being an undecided major.
Okay.
Oh, I apologize. I guess UIGS is not available as a choice anymore. So, but I would encourage you to, again, look at Wayfinder and see what options are available on Wayfinder.
Okay. Okay, I'll click on that link. Thank you.
Does that help answer your questions?
Yes, it definitely does help answer my question.
Awesome. Any other questions we can help answer?
So I apologize. I don't want to interject, but I do want to interject. So as Patrick mentioned, the Wayfinder is such a great resource. One of the things that I personally like about the university and being an alumnus is we really allow you to build your degree plan. So pharmacy is great. When you read through the pharmacy website, it gives you a lot of really good resources and information. You don't have to go into pharmacy as a second-year student or a first-year student. You can do your bachelor's degree and then go into pharmacy. It kind of allows you an alternate, I can't remember the exact wording on the pharmacy website, but it does kind of give you an alternate route. But if you want to build your degree, one of the things that you can do is look into the certificate programs that are offered at UT. So there are transcripts recognized minors and transcript recognized certificate programs that you can kind of build your degree as you're going into the School of Pharmacy. So Wayfinder will also mention some of that information on their website.
Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate that insight. And you're right, I've completely forgot about all the certificate options that are available. Let's go to Suzanne. What would you suggest as a major when you are applying to pharmacy? Again, I can't just reiterate what Jamie says. It's up to you. I would encourage you to use Wayfinder and to explore and to see what excites you. Don't choose a major that you think will be better for pharmacy school. I can say that. Don't choose a major that you think, oh, biology is good for pharmacy school or chemistry will be good for pharmacy school. I promise you that you'll take plenty of science classes once you get to pharmacy school. So if you want to take other classes and major in other classes, that's fine. What's most important to make you competitive for pharmacy school is the experiences you're having. So if you're going to be that, communications major, then be a communications major who also volunteers at a pharmacy, or be the communications major who is also a pharmacy tech, or be that communications major who is part of the Longhorn Pre-Pharmacy Association. So it's really just important for you to, the experiences you have are what's going to make you a competitive applicant for pharmacy school. I hope that helps answer your question, Suzanne. Javier, do you want to talk just a little bit about did you apply as what major did you apply to UT as, and did you always stay as that major, and how did you know you wanted to be that major?
Sure. So I took a couple routes. I first came into orientation undeclared, and then I chose Bachelor of Science in Microbiology and Infectious Diseases. And that was also within CNS. But what made me more interested in the degree I ended up coming up with was one time at, I think it was my history class, they advertised about the Bridging Disciplines program. And that's a center where you have a variety of different certificate programs, which is at UT basically is a more concentrated minor. It's around the same amount of course loads, but it's for whatever topic that you may desire that's available. So for me, when I saw ethics in healthcare, I thought, okay, this is really interesting as far as the topics. It'll be refreshing for my hard science courses. And then also I realized that in order to become an overall better healthcare provider, I need to know more than just microbiology. That was just my mindset. But now, like as Patrick said, do what you're interested in, and the prereqs are more than enough to help you prepare for your first semester or two in pharmacy school. But yeah, in the end of the day, it was an easy switch from the BS in microbiology to a BSA in biology, because at that time there were non-competitive majors, as Patrick was referring to. I didn't have to apply, but then I did have to apply for the Bridging Disciplines program for that certificate because it was in a different college. I believe it's technically housed in the School of Undergraduate Studies, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I did have to apply to that, but got accepted. And then I stuck with a Bachelor's of Science and Arts in Biology with the certificate in Ethics and Healthcare.
Thank you for that insight, Javier. What other questions can we help answer? All right, as we wait for a few more questions to come in, Javier, I'm just going to ask, can you talk a little bit about what role did LPPA play in your undergraduate experience? What was that club like? And maybe what were some other, in addition to that, what were some other organizations you were part of that helped you prepare for pharmacy school?
Sure. So LPPA prepared me by exposing me to the different pharmacy schools, and then also some different fields within pharmacy school. I don't know how they structure their meeting speakers, but the first semester was usually different schools within Texas of where you can apply, and usually an admissions counselor would come from that school and talk about what they offer, what prereqs you need, and so on and so forth. And then the spring semester was different fields within pharmacy. So it might be a specialist in oncology. It might be someone who is working in independent community pharmacy. And so LPPA just helped me both professionally in that sense. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, it really helped me prepare for pharmacy school because LPPA had their meeting in the pharmacy school. Sometimes pharmacy students would go to our meetings, And you could really just start picking their brains right there on the spot, saying, how's pharmacy school? How's pharmacy school here at UT? And so it was a very informed decision to stay here at UT because I had about 3+ years of knowing the ins and outs here at the pharmacy school. So it's a big plus to come here for undergrad and for UT, but then also stay here for the pharmacy school. It's, of course, not a requirement, but I wouldn't change how I took my route from, as a high school senior graduate to my first year in pharmacy school. And then other orgs that helped me, I was also in another organization called Alpha Epsilon Delta. It's a pre-health society. And although it's pre-health, it was really pre-med dominant. I think I and maybe 2 or 3 others were pre-pharmacy, but it really gave me a broad sense of healthcare in general because it was a pre-health society. The guest speakers range from PA or a doctor, or there was one where it was a pharmacy school panel. And so that didn't necessarily help me know more about pharmacy, but it did help me know that I wanted to pursue pharmacy, if that makes sense. Because it exposed me to the other fields within healthcare, I knew that I was still getting really excited about what I could do in pharmacy. And so those 2 orgs would really help me make a decision on what I want to pursue for a living, which is pharmacy, and then what school I wanted to attend to.
Thanks, Javier. And to answer the question in the chat, the acceptance rate for pharmacy school, I assume they talk about our specific pharmacy school. Last year we had about 540 students apply. We accepted about 150 of those students. So if I did my math right, it's about 27 to 28% acceptance rate for our program. Does having a bachelor's degree affect your acceptance to the pharmacy school in any way? It does not matter as long as you complete the prerequisites. It does not matter. Yep, just finish the prerequisites. Whatever path it works for you. If you want to get to pharmacy school as quickly as you can, great. If you want to experience that 4 years of undergrad, more power to you. Whatever works for you is fine with us. What does affect your admission to pharmacy school is your experience. And so students who have 4 years of experience, an undergrad might have had more opportunities to study abroad and to intern and do research than a student that only had 2. So indirectly it might influence, but just on the surface, bachelor's degree or not does not affect the admissions decision. Can you do pharmacy school and work on getting a bachelor's degree at the same time? No, you kind of have to earn your bachelor's degree and then come to pharmacy school. That 7-year hybrid program is the closest thing to it, but you would basically be almost practically done with your bachelor's degree when you start pharmacy school. But something you kind of have to wrap up and then you would start our program. Similar to you would wrap up your undergrad and start med school, or start law school, or any other post-secondary school. Yes, and Suzanne, I put a link to LPPA, their website, in the chat. So if you scroll up a little bit, you should see it there. Any other questions we can help answer? All right, well, I'm not going to make y'all just sit on the Zoom just for the sake of looking and hearing at us. I will just ask Javier to answer one final question. What is your favorite part about being a UT student?
Oh, this will definitely take up the majority of the time we have left. What do I enjoy about being a UT student? If I could sum up in one word, well, no, I can't sum it up in one word. I just love the culture here. It's a real family culture at the College of Pharmacy, and there's a sense of we're in this together, but then we're also just had a lot of ambition to do the very best we can to go out there and change the world, as our university's motto says. And I just loved everything about that. You know, just wake up every day saying, you know, I want to do something great. You know, it could be something that changes the lives of many people, or it's as simple as helping your classmate with an assignment, or a classmate helping you with an assignment. It just really just made me feel real proud of being UT Longhorn, because for when you have 50,000 plus students having that same mentality, great things happen. And you could see that every day based on UT's success that has been going on for generations and generations. So I am so proud to be a UT Longhorn, and I just can't wait to see what I could do with the education I have here, and then also giving back to this Longhorn community as much as I can.
Well said, Javier. And thank you for taking time out of your busy summer schedule to come chat with us. And most importantly, thank you to prospective students. You know, this is a Zoom in the summertime, and we're glad you took the time to learn more about UT as a whole and the College of Pharmacy as a whole. The last thing I want to say is that I hope all of you consider UT for all your educational experiences, but know that if you don't end up at UT for undergrad, there's still a place for you if you want pharmacy here at UT. So if you want to be a Longhorn, there are a lot of different pathways to get here. We will help you find your pathway and find your way to your burnt orange shirt, polo, tank, whatever you prefer. But I just want to make sure that everyone knows that everyone's pathway is different, and you might come to UT as an undergrad or not, but just know there's always a space, an opportunity for you to come to the College of Pharmacy. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for taking the time. I know you have a lot of other things planned as part of this Texas preview event. I hope you enjoy those. I'm going to put my email in the chat. So if you have any questions for me, you want to follow up, you want to visit the college, please reach out. I'd be happy to do that. Javier's email's in the chat there as well. If his story resonated with you, you want to ask him some more follow-up questions, please do that. Please use this as a resource. So thank you all for being here. Enjoy the rest of your afternoons, and hook 'em horns. So, and I'm sorry, I have butchered your name this whole time, Sudisha. Specific questions about admissions, not just tied to pharmacy. That would be best answered by Jamie or someone from undergraduate admissions. I'm not sure if there's a presentation specifically about admissions, but I would also encourage you to reach out to their office. They used to have a feature, and Jamie, correct me if I'm wrong, but a find your counselor feature where you can email your specific admissions counselor that represents your school. Let me see if that's still, I'm not sure if that's still a feature or not. It looks like it is.
Yeah, that's still a feature. There's also some options for virtual appointments, though I think they're all at capacity. We can always arrange something for you if the calendar's full. Just shoot me an email. I'll see what I can get scheduled. If anything, I will just do the virtual appointment myself. The recordings are available. I believe you're going to get emailed. There's also an email address I can provide. You can ask for the recording. Let me just I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to try to figure out what that email address is because I forgot. So I apologize about that. I'll get that to you in 1 second.
Thank you, Jamie. Any other questions while we're still on here?
Oh, Suzanne, I'm sorry. I noticed that you said you had a question, said, where do you get experience? Can you expand a little bit on that? If you're able to unmute or type in the chat. There's something about volunteering at a pharmacy. Oh, yes, there's opportunities around UT Austin to volunteer at a pharmacy. There is, you have to apply outside of UT. It's not affiliated with UT or any of its schools or colleges. I know St. David's has a program that a lot of UT students go to because you could take a simple bus route just down Red River to St. David's. And then I believe Dell Children's also has a volunteer program, and pharmacy is one option that you could volunteer in their departments. And so on these places, their websites, it's specifically on their volunteer programs. I would imagine this a Google search with St. David's Student Volunteer Program. And I believe, and I think for St. David, I think high school students are also eligible. So your daughter does not have to wait until they hopefully become a UT for undergrad to start on that. But
And Javier, I'll just add that, again, I'm not a pharmacy student or professional, but working with our current students, a lot of them have told me when they were in high school, they just literally walked up to their local pharmacy and said, can I shadow? Can I volunteer? Can I observe? And I think they've overwhelmingly, I've heard that it was successful for them. So again, depends where you live in your community, but encourage your students to go and just ask your local pharmacy. I hope that helps answer your question. But yeah, to Javier's point, once you get to UT, there's a lot of options within the city of Austin too to volunteer. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, I don't have any. Javier, do you have any other questions coming your way? I'm going to go ahead and end this session, so you'll have time to take a break, and then jump on your next one at, I believe, 1:30. So again, thank you all for being here. Have a great day, and please don't be a stranger. Stay in touch.